I hesitate to give out numbers, 88,000 people are missing. That's what Fox is reporting in Japan, but I don't know what that means, and I like to hold back to see how things roll out a little bit because sometimes the news doesn't get it right. But there are thousands missing in Japan, as you would imagine. I believe this is the 5th biggest earthquake on record. I mean, that's scary. 8.9. I lived through, I think it was a 6.1 or 6.2, an 8.9. I mean, it's hard to get your head around that. And the size of these, or this wave and the following waves, they're going 500 miles an hour from one end of the one end of the ocean to the other. I mean, that's scary stuff. The Levin surge is on. Now, what this means is that hopefully you, your family members, your friends, your coworkers, your neighbors will take a few minutes to try and save your country. And unfortunately here we're trying to put pressure on people who are supposed to know better and are already supposed to be doing this. And that is the Republican majority in the House. The point is a vote for the proposed continuing resolution is a vote for Obamacare. The Speaker of the House and the Majority Leader, Cantor, they refuse to allow a vote on defunding Obamacare in the continuing resolution. Now they have lied. They have lied about this rule, which has been waived before, to cut spending in 123 other programs. So they're now lying about that. Now they've changed positions. Now they said, we're going to look at this through regular order. That is, through the usual committee structure. They sound like bureaucrats working at the Social Security Administration or the VA or the DMV. We're going to do this way. No, we want you to act now. We want you to do whatever you can do to stop this. Nothing's changed since the election. What the hell are you doing? You're making excuses because you're scared. You're scared of doing the right thing. So what we're getting now is the Obama-Boehner health care bill. And anybody who votes for this continuing resolution, I don't care who they are, Alan West or whomever, anybody who votes for this continuing resolution is voting for Obamacare. So vote against it. Well, we want to give the leaders some space. No, don't give the leaders some space. You're not there to represent the leaders. You're there to represent us. If you want to be a conservative spokesman, a conservative hero, a conservative icon, if you want to be reelected with Tea Party support and conservative support, then give us a reason to support you. I'm not into the cult of personality stuff. I'm not into cheerleading a party no matter what. So the Levin surge is on. Please call your congressman or congresswoman, and if they're left-wing drones, then call Boehner, call Cantor, call one of the Republican freshmen, and tell them, please don't vote for the continuing resolution because if you do, it'll be obvious that you're voting to fund Obamacare. And I want you to notice something. This $105 billion that the Heritage Foundation, through Mr. Istuk and others, have now made plain that it's in there, I want you to see how few are actually talking about this. Go to your favorite so-called conservative website. Do you even see it mentioned? Do you see a debate over it? Do you see much discussion at all, or are they doing more cheerleading for their favorite Republican nominee, and we don't even have a single declared candidate yet? Well, maybe Herman Cain. They're playing games when we have these substantive, crucial issues at the fore, and pressure, unfortunately, needs to be placed on some of the Republican leaders. These Republican leaders, keep in mind, do not come out of the Tea Party movement. They don't even come out of the conservative movement. They were there because they kept getting elected. Boehner, 22 years. He benefited from all your work, your protests, your rallies, your organizing, the money you spent to go to rallies and to town hall meetings, and your donations. They are the beneficiaries. Now we expect them to do what we need them to do. This isn't a joke. This isn't some third-tier program. This is fundamental. Now, if you agree with me, please call 202-224-3121. 202-224-3121. We got word yesterday that they weren't picking up the phone. Keep trying. If they don't pick up the phone, go on your computer, Google the member, contact their district office, contact their direct line in Washington, send them an email. At all times, be polite. You're not an NEA thug, so be polite. But make it clear that you understand that if they vote for the continuing resolution, they're voting for Obamacare. And if that continuing resolution passes, from now on, I intend to call it Obama and Boehner care. I mean, my God, what's the problem? Meanwhile, they've already lost the offensive thanks to the incompetence of the Republican leadership in the House. They've already lost the offensive. Barack Obama! Did you hear him today? Of course not. You work for a living. Well, he had a news conference today. Luckily, the man didn't have a lie detector attached to him because that thing would be buzzing off the table. Man's a serial liar, completely delusional. That's right, I said it. Now listen to this. Listen to the gall of this man today. He and his party were supposed to have passed a budget way back when they were in control. But listen to what they're doing now. They're turning the tables on the feckless Republican leadership in the House. Cut 4, go.
We can't keep on running the government based on 2-week extensions. That's irresponsible. I mean, we've got a war in Afghanistan going on. We've got a wide range of issues facing the country on a day-to-day basis. And the notion that we can't get resolved last year's budget in a sensible way with serious but prudent spending cuts, I think, defies common sense.
Now, this is stunning. Absolutely stunning. The man hasn't lifted a finger to get this matter taken care of because he's a political coward. He wants to be able to stand back and shoot spitballs at whatever comes up. Take credit where he can steal it, denounce everybody else where he thinks it's going to be politically harmful to him. I've never seen such a gutless wonder, to be perfectly honest with you. But there he is. Oh, yes, I have, in the Republican leadership in the House. Pardon me. So now he's complaining to the Republicans that what they're doing is irresponsible with these 2-week extensions. The president and his party, which didn't pass a budget, which is why they're having to do these continuing resolutions. But the point is Obama has turned the table on them. So now they're defending 2- and 3-week extensions rather than on the offense, attacking big government, attacking the left, attacking these monstrosities that they funded in an inappropriate manner. Instead, they're now defending a process that they shouldn't even be involved in. What genius. Oh, I can hear the Republican comment. Oh, they've got them on the run now, the Republican. Well, how genius. Well, just brilliant. He also said this. Cut 5, go.
The Republican budget that passed out of the House included a whole range of what are called riders. These aren't really budget items. These are political statements. And I've said, again, directly to Speaker Boehner that we're happy to discuss any of these riders, but my general view is let's not try to sneak political agendas into a budget debate. You know,
let's stop this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all politics. What's he trying to say? That he's the good government guy and everybody else is political? You see what I mean? He's already turned the tables on the feckless Republican leadership in the House. Now, they stuck all this spending in the Obamacare bill. Now, that wasn't politics, was it? And we won't take it out. Rather than trying to control us and control their message to us and control the freshmen with strong-arm tactics, how about they come out, explain the truth to the American people, exactly what's going on, exactly why this has to be confronted, exactly what Obama and the Democrats did, and how we're going to address it. How about that? Win, lose, or draw, you're trying to do the right thing, the principled thing, and often you actually get rewarded by the American people. Instead, we have a muddled message because we're muddling. This is why you need to call your member of the House. And if not your member, because your member's a drone, then call other members. Call Mr. Boehner's office and Mr. Cantor's office. Call them all. I don't know how we're going to set this country right and save the next generation and ensure that you have the kind of health care that you deserve when you pay for it with your own money. I don't know how we're going to get this done with this leadership, to be perfectly honest with you, because a vote for this continuing resolution is a vote for Obamacare. Make no mistake about it. And they are working overtime to create their bureaucracy under the radar to build these little institutions, which is going to make it incredibly difficult to get rid of as time goes on. Every day we're losing ground. Every day we're losing more of our liberty. They're hiring more people. They're leasing more offices. They're preparing to issue more regulations every single day. And the response we get from Boehner and the Republican leadership is, well, we're not going to change the rule. I mean, after all, we want to do this through proper order. Say what? How about upholding the Constitution? How about rejecting Marxist health care? How about growing a pair, for crying out loud? Good Lord. So call 202-224-3121 and stop crying, for crying out loud. 202-224-3121 or email. Do whatever you need to do to appropriately and civilly contact your member or other members or the leadership and tell them you vote for this, you're voting for Obamacare. I don't care what the name of the congressman is. I don't care about all the wonderful PR they've gotten. I don't care how much we supported them on the past, if they've been on this program. Right now, the rubber hits the road. Right now, today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the rubber hits the road. Right now. The word's gone out from the White House to Steny Hoyer, the House Minority Whip, Steny Hoyer from Maryland, because he said today, no more of this 2-week, 3-week continuing resolution stuff. So the Democrats are on the offense, that is the offensive, and the Republicans, I mean, I don't know, how's this going to end? Honestly, how is this going to end? They either have to cut some kind of deal, or the government's going to be shut down given the obstinance of the White House and the Democrats. Now, if the government's going to shut down, why wouldn't you want it to shut down on our terms and make the best case you can to the American people and actually stand on a principle that is important to the nation and to its survival? I just don't think these old bulls who have benefited from the last election with all the new people that you sent to the House of Representatives, I just don't think these old bulls get it. Honestly, I don't. Well, they better get it, or they're going to destroy the Republican Party, because people aren't going to put up with this forever. They better get it, or we're going to have two parties right now in this country, one that's 100% for spending, another that's apparently 85% for spending. We'll be right back. Okay, let's take a call, shall we? Mara, Folsom, California, the great KSFO. How are you?
I'm fine. It's such an honor to actually be speaking to you. I can't believe this.
It's not that big a deal. Thank you.
Well, it is for me, and just to let you know, as a side note, I used to be a raging liberal, and I've completely switched over to the conservative side of things.
Wonderful.
But
you're a raging conservative, I hope.
Yes, I am. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. They say that like people that quit smoking are usually the most outrageous advocates of not smoking. I'm that way about liberalism now. But I just wanted to let you know that I have been making calls. The call that I made to Boehner's office, I'm hoping that their phone lines are being melted, because I was on hold forever before I actually talked to somebody. And when I finally got through, I made very close to similar talking points that you've been talking on the radio. Asked them specifically, where does Boehner stand on it? And when I ask that question, then I just get this curt, okay, thank you for your comments, we'll let them know. They never answered the question.
Because they don't give a damn, do they?
That's the impression I got. I don't know if that's just the aide because he's overwhelmed or what. But then when I made a call to my local Congressman, Dan Lundgren, I had a more interesting conversation with that aide. And I wanted to let him know I wanted to find out where he stood. I said, I'm very concerned because this is it. This is the point where we make a decision on whether our country goes forward with Obamacare or not. And every time they do a continuing resolution, it's my impression that the government is still being it's still operating, that all that does is just allow it to continue.
We're running out of time. I don't want to miss the end of this. Get right to the end.
So the lady then said to me, she says, well, I want you to know that Dan Lundgren is very much against Obamacare. And I let her know at that point that I understand that because I've been to his town halls, and he said that repeatedly. But this is the point where his actions need to meet his words.
And what did she say?
She didn't know what to say, I think, at that point. She just says,
well, if he votes for the continuing resolution, he can't be all that against Obamacare, can he? All right, my friend, I'm glad you're a raging conservative. I really do get sick of raging liberals, I must say. We'll be right back.